8-year-old Blair Atchinson was 10 days missing now. The mere mention of it was a thorn in his side. But I'll find her, he said to himself, not wanting to invite further discussion. A wind gust unfurled more stench. Mills yawned into a fist, reached inside his shirt pocket for his pills, and dry swallowed a Ritalin and an Adderall simultaneously. He didn't know which one worked better, but the Ritalin kicked in sooner, and the Adderall lasted longer. In his mind, the perfect marriage. A black Jeep Cherokee stopped on the gravel driveway beside the Petersons' house. Mills grumbled. Detective Blue stepped out of the vehicle. If he hadn't paused to talk with Ernie, he'd have been inside that barn already without the rookie. Now that Blue had arrived, the trek down that hill would be something akin to the tortoise and the hare. He told her he'd handle this one alone. Either she'd ignored him again, or Chief Givens had sent her with a nod and the unspoken suggestion to follow the old man, make sure he doesn't nod off while he's walking. Chief Givens could kiss his ass. You were in diapers when I caught the bad cop, a grade schooler when I faced down the lamplighter, golfing when I brought in the boogeyman. Hold up, Mills. Her voice was bee-buzz. He readjusted his hearing aid and held up for her on the hillside. Blue called out to the postman on the porch. Hey, Ernie. Hey, baby, he answered. Mills grunted. He refused to call her by her nickname. Ever since she'd married Danny Blue, the town's #1 defense attorney, 7 years ago, the name had stuck. Baby Blue. Blue was good enough for him. She sidled with him down the sloped lawn. She wore black pants, a white blouse, and a brown jacket to conceal the piece strapped around her shoulder. All legs and youth and spunk, while he'd doubled down on the opposite of every one of them. He wrinkled his nose. Detectives don't wear perfume. Yeah? Well, they don't wear diapers either. He pulled his .40 caliber Smith & Wesson from the pancake holster at his waistband and took the lead toward the dilapidated barn. Except for the newly painted white doors, the rest of the faded red structure looked beaten up by decades of harsh weather and wood rot. The stench hit them like a wall, and while she covered her nose with her jacket, he inhaled it deep into his lungs. His way of diving headfirst into the pool, to get acclimated. She removed her Sig Sauer pistol from inside her jacket. Too eager. Her shirt was untucked, which meant she was carrying the tiny .380 in her flashbang bra holster. The bulge at her right ankle showed she was also carrying her 9mm down low. It was too much, he'd once told her. You're inviting an accident, Blue. Mills, look. She pointed toward the barn doors. Muddy paw prints stained them. Claw marks had grooved portions of the wood to splinters, with streaks of blood dried to rust. Looks like a dog was desperate to get inside. The Petersons had a golden retriever named Gus. Gus had a limp, but was still active. He had a habit of chasing cars down the road and had gotten hit more than once. Mills surveyed the cornfields but saw no sign of him. He gripped the wooden handle above the paw prints and pulled. The door initially resisted, sucked in place like ice holding a car door closed, so it took another pull to fully open it. Trapped air escaped. Blue covered her nose again. A moth fluttered from the barn, spun frantically in the sunlight, and then returned to the dark. Mills stepped inside and motioned for Blue to follow. She raised her pistol at a shadowy figure in the middle of the barn. Mills placed a calm hand on her arm, lowered it. It's just a scarecrow. She let out a deep breath. Who puts a fucking scarecrow in the middle of a barn? Language, Blue. Language. The scarecrow was the height of a man. Straw hat, face stitched from burlap, with coat buttons for the eyes, nose, and mouth. Checkered red and black shirt half tucked into blue jeans, cinched by one of Mr. Peterson's old belts. From the road, Mills had seen it plenty of times before. To keep the crows on.